We've all been there in our lives where we've had tremendous amounts of stress and mentally we're just gone. Physically, we're out. Personal magnetism isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming more fully, powerfully, magnetically yourself. Basically, your vital energy, absorbed from the universal ether through breathing. Learn to project calm confidence, and you will be shocked at how people respond to you and how you can change. What is up, guys? I'm your host, Jason Rigby, and this is HDL Podcast, where we unearth ancient wisdom, modern mystics. If you're tired of feeling invisible, drained by energy vampires, or like you're swimming upstream while everyone else seems to effortlessly attract success, this episode's for you. And I want to go into this really cool. We're going to get into the magnetic revival and how we unlock our hidden power with this book. What if I told you that hidden in a dusty 1913 book lies the secret to becoming magnetically attractive? Not just romantically, but in every area of your life. What if this forgotten classic, this book, this old leather book, could teach you to project confidence, protect your energy from draining people? It talks about energy vampires, guys, and literally attract the opportunities you've been struggling to find. Well, today we're diving into the art and science of personal magnetism. That's the title of the book, and the author's mysterious. It's Theron Q. Dumont, Theron. It's a book that's been quietly influencing every. You guys have all heard the book, The Secret, to all the charisma coaching that's out there. This comes from this book. And here's the twist. Theron Q. Dumont never existed. So who's the real author? He was a brilliant lawyer who went from complete breakdown to spiritual breakthrough. And he became one of the most influential yet hidden figures in the New Age history in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So who is this man behind the mask? Well, it's a rag to riches recovery story, because if we go to Baltimore in 1880, William Walker Atkinson is living the American dream. Successful lawyer, thriving business, everything is going according to plan. Then all of a sudden, complete mental and physical breakdown. And on top of that, he has financial ruin. And this kind of rock bottom, and we've all been there in our lives where we've had tremendous amounts of stress and mentally we're just gone. Physically, we're out. And then we open up our app on our bank account, and what? There's nothing there, right? It's red. It's negative. This question everything, doesn't it? And it almost, on a lot of us, puts this crushing weight of, I should have figured it out by now. Especially you guys in your 20s and 30s, you have this mental health crumble, don't you? Of like, here I am, I'm 25 years old and I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still at my mom's house and, I'm only making this much. And this is where Atkins' story gets incredible. Instead of staying down, he discovered something called New Thought. And it's basically the original manifestation movement. And it didn't just help him recover, it transformed him into a powerhouse. By the 1900s, he had moved to Chicago, and this was the epicenter at that time of spiritual innovation. And he had to start writing under multiple secret identities. So why the secrecy? Well, picture this. You're a respected lawyer, but you're also secretly writing about yoga, energy healing, mental magnetism. And this guy was literally a century ahead of his time. So he used these fake names, like pseudonyms like Yogi Ramarami Panchadasi and Theron Q. Dumont, to explore different spiritual traditions without destroying his professional reputation. He had to hide in those days. Most everybody was some form of Christian, correct? And get this, there's strong evidence that Atkins was one of the three initiates who wrote Kybalion, Kybalion. It's one of the most influential occult texts in modern spirituality. And it's on tons of people's shelves. It may even be on your shelf right now. A lot of people think he was one of them that wrote that. Well, the plot thickens. In 1919, the U.S. Post Office investigated Atkins for allegedly misleading advertising of spiritual books. The authorities came in and were basically saying, this mystical stuff, Your teaching, it's getting too popular and we're not sure about it. But I believe his work was pretty solid. And I know it was helping a ton of people as it helped him. And back in those days, those early days, this New Thought movement, and you guys can look it up and read it. But I want to get into the book today. And in the book, he talks about personal magnetism. And I know we talk about good vibes only, and we have this toxic positivity that's out there. But Atkins, in a really good way, breaks it down like a scientist. And he says this is a quote from his book. The truth is, each and every individual is of a certain degree of personal magnetism. That each person may increase the degree and strengthen the power by knowledge and practice. This isn't about being born charismatic. He says this is a learnable technology. Just as we have technologies and apps and we learn new things, this Atkins identifies two poles of personal magnetism, the mental pole and the physical pole. And I'm going to get into them. The mental pole is your thought waves, your mental attitudes, and your conscious projection of energy. He literally describes thoughts as radio waves. He said this in 1913, before radio was even mainstream. The guy was seeing energy fields that modern science was just starting to measure. Then he called it the physical pole. And this is what he calls the nerve force. Basically, your vital energy, absorbed from the universal ether through breathing. Sound familiar? What is this? It's prana, chi, or whatever energy healers today call it, the biofield. But here's where it gets practical for us as this anxiety-ridden, overstimulated generation. Atkins teaches that you can consciously generate, distribute, and project this nerve force. You can charge her with this positive energy. But he doesn't just stop there. He talks about, and I want you guys to understand this, magnetic duels. The constant energetic exchange happening between people. And we've all felt this. We've walked into a room and immediately feel drained, or something's off, or something's weird, or we meet somebody who radiates confidence and leadership and just feel attractive. Not in a physical way. I'm talking in this ether way. It's this personal magnetism in action, isn't it? And yes, he explicitly addressed what we now call psychic vampires. People who unconsciously absorb your vital energy. They don't even know they're doing it. They're just leaving you feeling depleted. He provides specific techniques for energetic self-defense. And this is one of my favorite quotes in the book. He says this, many very repellent persons are really manifesting a high degree of personal magnetism in a negative form and are driving away persons from them in the same manner that others attract persons to them. It's all a matter of the use of the power. So they have a high degree of personal magnetism. He says it's just they're doing it in a negative format. And so in turn, they either drive people away or attract people they can drain energy from them. So that person who always seems to create drama, they're actually using massive energetic influence. The power is there, it's just misdirected. So let's connect this century-old wisdom to your 2025 life right now. First, personal magnetism, basically the OG version of what Abraham Hicks, if you haven't listened to Abraham Hicks, I love listening to her videos. Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, is called vibrational alignment. When you cultivate positive mental states and strengthen your physical, you literally change what you attract. Atkins was teaching the law way before it was trendy. Second, this directly addresses this modern anxiety that we're experiencing, now, especially post. We all know what we went through in 2020 and 2019 and 2021, anxiety. And when you understand that your mental state creates an energetic field around you, you realize that you can be creator as this power of the universe, that you have more control than you think. Social anxiety. It's often just unconscious projection of nervous energy. So learn to project calm confidence instead, and people respond to you. It's so amazing when you begin to recognize the nervous energy and you take it from unconscious to conscious, and then you practice projecting this calm confidence. You will be shocked at how people respond to you and how you can change. You can actually, maybe it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, your mom, your dad, or whatever it may be, and they're kind of up, and then you begin to speak to them with this calm confidence and this energy. You literally change them. And third, he talks about the nerve force. This concept is essentially what researchers now call biofield science. This is 1900, guys. This is a study on energy healing. It's Reiki, even the physiological effects of breath work. He talked about breath work and what it does to your body, and that it has this electromagnetic field that affects our mood and interpersonal dynamics. But I want to be real about the psychic vampire thing. We all know those people who leave us feeling drained. Atkins' magnetic self-defense technique. They're basically energetic boundaries. Instead of people pleasing, instead of having this feeling of exhaustion because you're always constantly trying to maintain your energetic integrity. Tony Robbins talks about these techniques and what it looks like if you understand him. And he's talked about this 100 times, that he's learned a lot of this from had in the past. And I know the language has all changed for us, but this core understanding remains. Confidence, influence, and attraction they're all skills that each and every one of you, if you're listening to this right now, you can develop confidence. You can develop influence. You can develop attraction. So enough theory. All right. I like to kind of put macro, and then I want to get down into the practical. I'm going to give you 2 techniques straight from Atkinson's playbook that you can use immediately. So let's get into this breath rhythm for nerve force that he talks about. This is consciously observing vital energy from what Atkinson calls the universal ether. In modern science, might call it optimizing your nervous system through breath work. He talks about finding your natural, this is the slow, deep breathing pattern your body naturally falls into after intense physical or mental effort. So after you've gone on a run and you kind of get your heart rate down just a little bit, but you're still kind of breathing heavy, that's that intense physical, or maybe after mental effort, you really did something and you're like, oh my goodness. And then you can catch yourself breathing, not in an anxiety way, but when you're in the flow state, in a mental flow state. And how he talks about it is you can breathe in for about 4 counts, hold for 2, and then exhale for 6. But don't force it. Find your natural rhythm. What is your rhythm? Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 2, and then exhale for 6. And this is the kicker right here. And this is really cool. He said, as you breathe, imagine you're absorbing golden light or energy from the air around you. So you're imagining you're absorbing this golden light, this energy from the air around you. This is a form of meditation too. You're not even realizing you're meditating, but you are feeling throughout your body. And it's charging your personal magnetic field. If you do this, guys, for 5 minutes, when you're feeling drained or anxious, your presence is going to change. Trust me. I want you to do it for 5 minutes. Don't force it. Be relaxed. 4 counts, hold for 2, breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Find the rhythm, do it for 5 minutes. Imagine there's this golden light, this energy from the air around you that's coming into you. Imagine it going through all the different parts of your body and charging you. Like you charge a phone, it's charging your personal magnetic field. Just do it for 5 minutes and then put in the notes. I want you guys to put in the comments what was happening to you and let me know. Let me give you exercise too, practical. This is really cool. Mirror work for the direct flash, he calls. And this feels weird, but it's powerful, guys. If you've ever done mirror work before, you'll know Atkinson's teaching called the direct flash. And this is projecting like super concentrated mental commands to your magnetic force. So what does that look like, magnetic force? You stand in front of a mirror and you look directly into your own eyes. That's hard for some of you anyways. It's hard to look at yourself. If you have one of those big mirrors, it's really cool. But just stand in front of the mirror and then just look in your eyes. And imagine your reflection is another person. Imagine it's someone you need to have a difficult conversation with. So you see the reflection. It's another person. And then mentally flash the command. I want you to flash it just real fast. Mentally flash the command. I am confident and strong. Not as a thought. You're going to flash it as projected energy. You did the breathing and you felt that projected energy. Well, now you're going to feel the projected energy. So now you're going to put out there, I'm confident and strong. Confident and strong. energy, I'm confident, strong, back into the mirror, I want you to feel the conviction behind it. Then I want you to look, I'm confident, strong. And then I want you to see your posture and your expression on your face. And you can flash different positive commands like, I'm worthy of respect. I attract good opportunities. I am magnetically compelling. This builds what Atkinson calls your mechanism of influence. It's essentially training your project confidence automatically. Those are super easy to do. You can do those 2 exercises. I encourage you guys. Here's the keys. And he says this in a quote in the book. Knowledge is power, and a cultivated and developed faculty is often far more effective than a similar faculty present at birth and not understood or worked for. So you don't need to be naturally charismatic. You need to understand the principles and then practice them consistently. Because knowledge plus practice equals power, is what he says. And before we wrap this up, we need to address the elephant in the room. Yes, Atkinson's books teaches influence techniques. Yes, some of them involve affecting other people's thoughts and actions. And yes, this raises ethical questions. Atkinson himself warns against using these powers for unworthy or criminal ends. And he specifically cautions against manipulating other people, especially in romantic or sexual contexts. But the real power of personal magnetism isn't about controlling others. You already got it way off. True love is in service to others. Having a higher vibration is about mastering yourself. And then through that mastering, that magnetism that you have in mastering begins to develop this genuine confidence in you. It begins to create this authentic presence of who you really are, not who you think you are, but who you really are, because you've done the work. And you have this strong energetic boundary. And that naturally attracts aligned opportunities. It naturally attracts positive and good relationships. And as Atkinson puts it, moral hold only those mental states which you wish others to take on. So you're only going to do the mental states that you wish others would do too. You wish that, your mom or your sister would do these, exercises too. So why would you go against that and try to manipulate someone? Your eternal state is constantly radiating outward. The question isn't whether you're influencing others, and I don't think that's a bad thing because we already are, aren't we? If we're on a spiritual path and doing the spiritual work, we are going to have influence on others. I hope that I do. Leadership is influence. So using these techniques, if they make you more confident, that's not manipulative to me. If you become more magnetic, that's not controlling. If you're more powerful, you don't have to be the powerful predator. You have more power, and that more power is a higher vibration, which is unconditional love. So, Magnetic Upgrade Challenge. Here's your homework. For the next week, I want you to experiment with consciously managing your personal atmosphere. Before entering any social situation, before going into a work meeting, a coffee date, a family dinner, I want you to take 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes, and to set a mental intention for the energy you want to project. So I want you responding. I want you to notice how people are responding and how you're feeling different. Here's the key insight that will tie all this together. We know in 2025, this anxiety-driven, digitally disconnected world, genuine presence, get this, if you haven't been paying attention to me, listen. Genuine presence is a superpower. When you learn to cultivate and project authentic confidence and calm energy, you're not improving your own life. You're contributing to healing the collective and bridging that disconnection that's been happening through technology. It's so amazing. And you're healing anxiety just by doing this. Personal magnetism isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about becoming more fully, powerfully, magnetically yourself. Resonated with you. Here's what I want you to do. First, I want you to try these exercises and let me know how they work. You can tag me on social media, #MagneticHDL, share your experience. Second, if you want to dive deeper into this forgotten wisdom, I've put a link in the show notes that has the whole book. It's public and read it. That's what I love about these old books. Third, if you're hungry for more content that bridges ancient wisdom with modern challenges, I want you to hit it, subscribe, like this video, share it if you can. That helps us get the word out more and more. And if you're just starting on your journey of practical spirituality, You can go to hdlpodcast.com. We have a ton of information on there. But remember, you already have everything you need to become magnetically attractive. You already have everything you need to be powerfully present and authentically influential. This old book is just an instruction manual. It opens up what's already in you. So until next time, keep seeking, guys. Keep going and keep raising. This has been HDL Podcast. I'm your host, and I'll see you in the next dimension.